I mean, if they can't meet that, then let's start a lot of it. They have to start their eminent domain, which they consider. We have, if they don't hold the pipeline for December, we have a chance to reappeal all of that. And so, for us, since it's not certain that this pipeline's going through, we still have a lot of avenues to try to prevent that legally. But if they cut the trees, we can't fix them. We can't glue them back together, you know. So it's like if we could stop them from cutting trees right now, then we can let all those legal actions play out. You know, we can continue to talk to the lawyers and all the different agencies and the state agencies. We can continue to talk to the FERC, and hopefully they would take back some of those permissions. You know, they might have to reconsider some routes.
Now, all right, so and I guess they haven't had any kind of hearing on compensation.
We have not had any compensation hearing. The way it works is they were granted permission to take the land prior to compensation. And then in lieu of actually paying us anything before taking the land, they have to have a bond put aside that's like 3 times their appraisal value or whatever.
Okay.
But
For all the landowners that they still owe.
Yeah.
just to prove that they can pay it, but we have not had any sort of a hearing on compensation yet.
Now, you have 20 acres here? Is that
It's 20,
Almost 23.
20, almost 23.
That's in this area, right?
this property, this whole property.
The property that the pipeline's going to go through.
Yeah, and they're going through just under 5 acres of that they're taking.
It's almost a quarter hour.
That's with the 1,600 odd linear feet.
Yeah,
How many?
it's I think it's 1.8 acres of actual pipeline corridor, and then 3.3 acres of additional workspace. Not even pipeline space, just extra space that we
They need to put their machine
for something, or because we're jerks, or I don't know.
And this is like 100 and how many feet wide?
They say 125. They measure flat. If you notice, it's a hill.
Yeah, it is.
So they say 125, but it's actually more than that.
Well, it's 50 feet permanent, and then on one side there's 40, and the other side is another 50. So that's an extra 90. There's their 140. Some places they widen it to about 165. So it depends on, like through the field, they're taking 165 feet through that field, and then it goes across this road. There's a natural stream from a spring that comes down. It's this private natural lake. And they're going right through it. And then all through that field, which is also ours. All through the top of that field, which is also ours. So it comes all the way through these woods, cuts completely on our property, right through, and crossing right through that. So we really, if you look at the map, here's the ridge. We're facing this way. The pipeline comes along the top of the ridge way back there, and then when it gets to us, it goes, cuts right through. And it's like, why didn't you just keep it up there on the other side? They keep saying, well, it's just stone quarry. There's plenty of room on the other side of that stone quarry. And the same guy owns it. And he was okay with it. They could have gone on the other side of that stone quarry. They didn't have to come anywhere near this property. No, they cut all the way.
And there is another pipeline on top of the ridge as well.
The
So,
bluestone gathering.
they keep saying there's environmental issues, but there is another existing corridor up there.
So you have, how many trees do you have here?
Oh, roughly.
Well,
What do we count up to? Like 100? 150?
I don't even know what the count. My husband said there's probably about 100, 150, but there's more potential because we're not even tapping the little ones. You know, if you start tapping smaller
Yeah.
ones,
In 5 years, it'd be more like,
I was just curious how many trees are actually in the right of way?
Yeah, I'd say probably about 150.
150 in the right of way.
Yeah. Well, almost all the maple trees here are in the right of way.
Oh, are they?
If it, like these pink flags right here, that's the close edge of the right of way. And
all the way up to
although there is a little patch of woods right here that's farther down from the right of way. This is all newer forest because it used to be wood. So these trees are all pretty young. There aren't that many trees in this section that I can even tap. They're too small. Almost everything that's tappable is above the pink flags.
then
Like,
down
that's why our lines don't come down that far. They're only up there in the right of way because that's the trees that are big enough.
And we didn't.
I mean, and granted, like I can tap these couple of trees here on the fence line, but you know, it's for the like size of the operation that we're running right now. If it's not enough to make it worth it to come out here and hike all the way up and down these hills and put the lines in and everything, like this is what we tap is the right of way. Once they clear that, it'll pretty much effectively end our operation.
There'll be something down here, but it's not enough for running lines.
Now, do you have other properties you have?
Yes, we
Maybe.
do. We have a couple other places that we tap. But this is probably has the potential to be our most productive. We haven't really gotten to test that out yet because last year was our most productive year. We had upgraded our equipment to be because we have to be able to handle the sap that we're bringing in and process it. And we finally finally upgraded the equipment to an actual evaporator, wood fire, commercial evaporator. But last year they told us they were cutting trees. So
And we started running out.
we did it. You know, if they were cut down. And
So this is not generally how you.
No.
well, this is how it works.
Well, yeah, I know this is how it works, but this is really commercial.
No, and I only started earlier this year just because the season surprised us with it, and we just weren't ready to at home at our evaporator. So I was like, well, I've got all this stuff, and I got to do something with it. So we'll put it over a fire. We'll do it our old-fashioned way, and it's actually a little more fun.
It tastes great. I just had some.
Oh, I made some more candy over there too. I guess I'm trying.
Candy?
Oh yeah, you better try some candy.
I didn't bring my diabetes medicine with me.
Oh no,
This is natural sugar.
Yeah, there you go.
nothing
Although my
added.
best friend is diabetic, and she says this is actually the worst sugar for me.
She said that.
I'm like right there. I'm right there on the edge
can't
between
help it.
diabetes and not diabetes. And my doctor keeps telling me that. I had to lose like a bunch of weight. This could put me over the top.
It'd be worth it.
It's very sweet though. It's
Yeah, we
great.
don't want to knock you over the line.
Oh, that's our cease and desist letter.
You have not heard anything about that.
The map's in the back of the
What's that? Cease and desist?
Right.
Yeah, sure.
It's been referenced.
Sorry.
Their lawyer referenced it to our lawyer.
I mean, there was a letter sent that no acknowledgement.
She's claiming that what's her name?
Elizabeth Saul Ewing.
Is claiming that she never received the email or the information.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, we made sure.
Yeah, this is our cease and desist. I don't know if you're interested in a copy.
Well,
This is an early copy. We actually have updated it. We misquoted the Fourth Amendment. It's actually the Fifth Amendment. So we edited that and reissued.
But yeah, they actually answered to us to say that it was all inaccurate and wrong, and that we needed if there was no legal basis for it. That's what she answered.
And they accused me of.
And she also had a fit that we had submitted the same thing to FERC, and she strongly requested 3 times to have us withdraw that same letter that we sent.
Elizabeth Whitmer is the attorney for Constitution.
Saul Ewing is their
This is our,
name. She's
just to give you an idea of where we are at this, and they're planning to start cutting at the beginning of the line. This is where the line begins. It's over by Montrose, Brooklyn area, and then this is us right
there,
here.
where that big
We're
turn
around
is.
mile 5, and this is the ridge line where it comes across the top of the mountain, and then it drops down, and this is our property right
and
there.
that whole L there.
Yep. Yeah. This
L
is the lake.
zigzag.
Is the lake
These
right
real
down there.
tight lines are where it's really, really steep. These lines up here is where it's real level on the top of the hill. So they could have continued to cut